The Napier Airport project was a challenging project in many ways. First and foremost, it did require plays from our organisation, but it also had a very strong demand to have collaborative interface both with the client being the Napier Airport Company, but also with the consultant being Becker.
Well, currently we're resurfacing the runway. There's a central part of the runway that dates back 15 or 16 years. The surfacing has started to break up. We extended the runway at either end 2 or 3 years ago, and the central bit is the bit that was lagging behind, so milled out and replaced overnight. The airport has to remain operational during the day, so we've got a very short window to do the work. The working shift starts at 9 o'clock at night, ends at 6 o'clock in the morning, and then the first flight takes off just after that. So it's very tight in the programming, and you get down to the minutes during the night. It's quite a fraught process, but careful planning sees it through.
The primary driver to this was it's complex. It is simple in its form, putting some bitumen on a road as it were, but the profiling requirements and the reshaping of the whole runway, the milling out and the precision that it demanded certainly had everyone working to the edge of our capacity, both from a consultant's perspective, an observer's perspective and our men on the job. Certainly everyone was on their game to pull this off.
The Higgins team that's doing the project is a combination of the Hawke's Bay team based in Napier and the Auckland-based surfacing team. The team is a very passionate team, and they bring a lot of previous knowledge of similar work, which is invaluable. And from top to bottom, they own the project.
Pretty well-oiled piece of machinery out there from the time we sort of hit the runway, set the lights up. We all just get out there and do it. And I think that's part of the Higgins philosophy, you know, do it once, do it right.
With the whole project, the idea is to remove the old asphalt. And the old asphalt is an open graded asphalt, which means it's porous and lets water through it, and it's pretty weak. So we need to remove that before we can put the new dense graded asphalt on top. So we're milling and checking the depth to make sure it's all gone, and then we go ahead and put a membrane seal on, and then we put down the new hot mix, which is a lot more hard wearing than the old stuff.
We're using an asphalt mix. It's a special airfield mix. It's a bit stronger than you would get on the roads. The way the night shift works is the hot material is laid, and it has to be finished at a certain time to allow it to cool sufficiently that the aircraft can run on it. With a project like this, huge amounts of material are needed for each shift. The project planning from Higgins was great in that they coped with that and opened the runway to an operational state the following morning.
This is the mobile plant that was brought up from Palmerston North to supplement our plant in terms of the quantity of mix that's required out on the airport on a nightly basis. Like tonight, for example, we're going to be putting through about 400 tonnes. This one will probably do about 150 to 200 of that.
The runway profile at the moment is reasonably shallow. We're actually steepening up that profile to allow the water to shed off the surfacing quicker. The Synergy team will survey the existing surface, they'll mill down, survey the milled surface, and then determine how much asphalt needs to go on top of that to reach the design levels.
It's pretty hard going at the start of the night. The surveyor goes out, puts down what we need to cut, and we need to transfer those on the ground for the 2 mills. They take it off, get the shape correct.
It's made that much easier with the automation of the level control, how that interacts with the milling machines and the paving machines.
The surveys come through, put the numbers down on the ground. It's just transferred to us as we're milling. We can get through it in no time.
The specification that we put together for the material for the project is very, very tight, and it needs to be to get the product that's going to last for 12, 15 years. The way that Higgins have produced that material and monitored the testing has been excellent. We've had compliance throughout the project in terms of all the parameters that go with the asphalt, so that's been very good.
Yeah, asphalt takes a lot of compaction, which is the time-consuming part of the job. We can pave it pretty quick, but we've just got to keep those rollers behind us.
I don't think we could be much more efficient than we are now. We're achieving the quality standards that are required.
We've had someone on site full-time, and the way they've worked with the Higgins team down there, it's been very collaborative.
The Higgins crew have been really welcoming, very professional, given the constraints of the project and the risks working at night and having to get off the runway at 6 o'clock for that first flight to come in. It's been very successful.
Natalia is one of our top graduates in our team. She's very enthusiastic and very bright.
In the future, I do hope to get to build up enough experience and then move back home to Samoa where I could put that experience to good use.
Key success factors were determined early on with the client, and we put together a number of project objectives, and they've taken on board especially the health and safety objective. We've had no incidents or accidents on site. They've put together a program to complete the works on time. Financial controls have been good. They've entered into the spirit of the contract. We're pretty pleased with this contract.
The Napier Airport resealing contract has been a wonderful success. But I guess you have to sometimes sit down and think about what the key success factors are. In this case, I think it's a combination of 3 or 4 major things. In the first instance, it's about our people. It's very much their dedication and their skill set and their wish to see a good outcome that helps deliver projects of this nature. But that's the same for every project actually. Across the whole of Higgins, delivering projects of this nature is not a rarity. We absolutely believe in ensuring we exceed the customer or the client demand every time. How is that done? Excellent people, excellent state-of-the-art equipment, excellent relationships, both internal and external. That means the client, that means the consultant, that means across the various divisions of our organisation and within our people teams.